Welcome back to my channel, Hoteliers Trail. We keep bringing the topics about how to run a hotel, how to operate a restaurant, what's the cost structure, and my last series on a journey of restaurateur, where I explain how the forecasting done, how the cost is managed, how we open a restaurant. And I keep getting many comments, many calls where the people ask more about the food cost, how to manage the food cost. I have few episodes on the food cost, and then I thought I'll tell you one more secret, how to manage the food cost. In all the hotels and restaurants, there is a focal point of control. That's we call receiving area. Now, receiving area is very important because all these supplies, whether it's a perishable, non-perishable, guest supply, engineering supply, which is bulky, goes through the receiving area. And the financial liability of a company or a hotel or a restaurant start the moment the goods pass through that receiving area. So receiving bay is very important, and that's a point of control. And today we're going to talk about how we control the receiving area. So there must be proper check at the receiving area so that no incorrect good pass through it. Any item, any goods pass through receiving area is chopped, is received by a receiving officer, the purchase order, receiving documents prepared, is chopped, the financial liability start. The moment the financial liability comes, company is liable to pay, whether goods are correct or incorrect. So what's the definition of incorrect goods? When the receiving officer checks the goods, he checks three things: quantity, quality, and the packaging. That inspection is normal inspection, checking the quantity, quality in the packaging. But what are the additional checks? The additional check is the product is not close to the waste. If it is a perishable item, it's a limited life. Second, the packaging, like cane product, it should not be dented. If it is dented, it has no value in the market. They purchase cheap and they supply to the hotels. So the receiving has to be very careful on that, on dented packaging. Third one is expiry date. If expiry date is very close, there are chances that the close to expiry items stay in the store, not used in the circulation or for the production, and then you end up paying for something which is not used. And the final one is excess supply. Are we getting excess supply? And how a controller will know there's excess supply? How anybody from management know there's excess supply? And that's a trick I'm going to share with you. Let's start with the purchasing process first. The four kind of purchases we can classify into four kinds. One is a purchase under the fixed contract, cash purchase, the purchase of non-routine items, which is not regular, and the fourth one is purchase under tender. Now, tender purchase is mostly for the perishable goods, which is for the consumable, and that impact the food cost. So our focus will be on the purchase through tenders. So what happened in tenders? What is the tender process? Tender process is because there is a variation in the price in the market for all the perishable goods, for the vegetable, for the fruits. And there's always a risk of high price because of demand and supply. When the supply is less and demand is more, the price of the vegetable and the fruits increase, and this impact directly to the food cost. So what do? They ask for the tenders. The purchasing manager call the suppliers and ask for the fixed price for a certain period, let's say 6 months. So let's say potato. I can supply potato for 10 baht for next 6 months, mango for 60 baht, carrot for this price. So they fix a price. So every supplier put their quotation and they check the best quotation and they issue the tender. So the moment tender is issued, what chef has to do, he don't have to worry about the price variation in the market. He just say, I need so many potatoes, so much rice, so much mango, this. He make his market list every day and he sent to the purchasing, create a purchase order, send to the supplier, supply. Receiving officer check the market list and the purchase order and he take the goods. So that's a simple process. And the risk of price change goes to supplier. Even the gain, even the benefit, if the price goes down below the tender price, they gain. So the risk and the benefit, everything move to the supplier, and the hotel and the chef concentrate on the production because they got the goods for a certain fixed price. So that's a tendering process, but there's a loophole. So what happened when the perishables are received under tender process? First, there has to be two checks. not only from the receiving but also from the kitchen. The chef team or chef himself come and check the quality. And of course the quantity. Quantity is more towards the receiving officer. He checks the quantity and the quality verified by the chef, and he says, okay, quality okay, I'll take it. Because if the quality is not good, product can be waste. It can be used for long term because it's all perishable product. So the check from the chef is very important for the quality. I have an experience about this quality check. In one of the property, I received the cash flow and I saw the payments. So I asked the FC to send me all the payment vouchers. I want to see the payment vouchers, and I see there's a lot of food purchase, beverage purchase, other purchase. So I was going through the food purchase voucher, which is very bulky because you pay once to a supplier in a month or 15 days, but the supply is almost every week, 3-4 times. So there's a lot of vouchers. I was just going through the vouchers and there were a lot of signatures, receiving area, date, what is received, purchase order received. And when I start looking the vouchers carefully, I found the chef's signature is in every pages. The signature was very similar. When I see carefully, I found it's not a signature, it's a stamp. Somebody put a chef stamp. I went to receiving and I asked him, is the signature or the stamp? He said, no, it's a stamp. The receiving officer said, stamp is with me. I said, so who checked? Who put this stamp? He said, I put the stamp. I received the goods, and later when I cleared the voucher, I put in the system. I put receiving stamp, I put the date and all, and I put the chef stamp. I said, why are you putting the chef stamp? I said, because chef is busy, sometimes he comes, sometimes he don't come, sometimes his team don't come. So basically, nobody was checking the quality. And the stamp was given to the receiving officer. When he checks, he signed and he also stamped. So everybody think, oh, chef is checking, quality is checked, don't worry, and things are just passing in. The financial controller not go and check what's happening in the receiving. And the receiving officer, he's just going with the easy process. But what's happening? We don't know how much supply is in, which is of not good quality, how much is wasted. And that was a big issue. But the point is the control point. How do we control? How do we know what's happening? If 2 people don't check a good, there's a problem. So all receiving has to be checked by the 2 people. And the perishable, no incorrect good is passed. And there's one very interesting thing, the last interesting thing about the receiving, which you can check. But for that, you have to automate the system. Now here you can see, I have taken one product, item A, and there are 4 months. I have taken a data of 4 months. First month, second month, third month, and fourth month. And for the item A, there's a contracted price of 40. So every month they have to pay 40 because it's a tendered price, because the price is decided by the tender. So the hotel has to pay 40 baht for the product per kg. That's a contracted price. So there's no price variation. So what happened? The purchase also checked every month or every week the price of these tendered items. It's a normal process. They keep checking the price. So when they put the price of each month, first month it was 37, second month price increased to 42 over tender price, then come down to 38, then 31, because a perishable item based on demand and supply, so price keep changing. And in this chart you can see there's a price variation. So first month the price was 3 baht less, but next month it was 2 baht more. Instead of 40, the market price was 42. So the company gained 2 baht. Third month was again, the price goes down to 38. So it's 2 baht saving, and fourth month is price goes down quite low. That's 9 baht. Now what we have done, we have taken how much is being ordered each month. So the first month it was ordered 10 kg, second month 12 kg, third month 8 kg, and fourth month 10 kg. I've just taken this example and kept this number low just to explain it. And the receiving quantity was, first month was 10 kg, which is like same as what we ordered. Second month was only 8 kg was received, but ordering was 12 kg. So the supplier sent 4 kg less. Third month again 8 kg they ordered, they got 8 kg, and fourth month they ordered 10 kg, but the receipt was 14 kg. They have supplied 14 kg. Now the interesting thing is, if you take a data for 4 months, quantity order was 40 kg and receive also 40, but there was a mismatch each month. Sometimes they supply more, sometimes they supply less. Now, if you see in the chart, when the price was high in the market, which is 42 baht, more than the contracted price, the less supply was received. Supplier sent us a less. And when the price was much lower, which means the supply is gaining 9 baht, he supplied more, 4 kg extra. So what receiving officer has to ensure the same quantity to be received. Mostly what happened, if they team up, when the market price is low than the tender price, they send you more goods and the receiving receive that goods, because this time the supplier gain, he make good money on price variation. But the moment price goes high, he don't send the goods as per market shortage, he send you the less. And if receiving officer don't flag these things, like when the price is in the market is high and the supplier is not sending me more, which means he's trying to cover his loss. The moment the market price goes down, he starts sending you extra goods because he want to maximize profit. And this can be controlled only by the receiving. But if receiving is not careful, we don't know. We are paying for the excess item and sometimes we have a shortage in the goods, which means we can't sell more. So I have found these kind of cases many times. When the market price increase, you get less goods. When the market price goes down, you get excess supply. When the supply is inside, the chef has a problem to consume that goods. The receiving may or may not, but mostly they team up with the supplier and they let the incorrect good in the system, which means the company start paying extra, either through the wastage or the excess supply, or it become a chef's problem. Now the supply is there. To manage the food cost, he has to consume that goods, get it prepared, get it processed. So at the end, the company end up paying more. So this is the focal point, the receiving area. It has to be checked very well. So these are the checks we have to make sure it's happening. Quality, quantity, and packaging generally checked by the receiving, but at the back office, from the control point of view, we have to automate the system. Now the spreadsheets can be automated. You can download the data from the system. You see how much is ordered, how much is supplied, and you see the variation. Or you go on the high value supply item or high volume supply item. 2 items you can check if there are too many items. And you can do this exercise. You will know what is happening. If you club the data for very long, like I'd show you for 4 months, the quantity shows same, but in between they do variation. So it's important in the regular interval, you can keep checking it. Automate the system. Use 20-80 formula, which means 20% of your goods impact 80% of your cost. And use this formula. Check on the back end what's happening. Let the chef check the quality and quantity. Let the receiving officer make sure the packaging okay. Let the storage checks it. And you check this through the system. You'll surprised to see it's a new point of control, which generally avoided, which generally not been screened by the control point of view. The system can tell you what's happening in your food cost, why it's so high, why it's showing a variation, why it's the spikes are coming. So receiving area is very important. Receiving of higher quantity when the market price is low of a tendered item is a flag, is a red flag, and it has to be taken very seriously. The high value item to be monitored, the quality has to be checked for perishable 100%, packaging for the branded product. Use 20-80 formula. 20-80 formula we use everywhere, not only in the cost control but also in the skill level also. So 20-80 has to be used. And when you automate the system, even the system will tell you which item is wasted more. There's a trick, and if you use it carefully, you can find out. Even the system will tell you what item is wasted. So check what item is wasted more, then investigate. So this was the receiving area focal point of control, which I believe going to help you in managing your food cost, even saving 2%, 3%, everything convert into the profit and business become more sustainable. If you have any question, please drop a line to me. I'll be keep coming with the interesting topic and the secrets, how to manage the business. See you next time.